Hi, welcome to Mamas and Mannies. I'm your host, Trina. This is a short form podcast for mama that are looking for a quick burst of me time. But before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button, share this with another mama, and hit the bell for notifications. As always, we're going to start the week off with another motivational quote. This week's quote is, I choose to listen to my inner voice and not the random opinions of others. Again, the quote is, I choose to listen to my inner voice and not the random opinions of others. And I think that's actually a great quote because sometimes we can find ourselves listening to outside voices a lot, and it makes you change your mind about things that you weren't necessarily looking to change your mind about. Also, I feel that especially as moms and women in general, I feel like we really do have a strong sense of intuition. So sometimes it is good to listen to yourself, especially in certain situations that you know where something is positive or negative or is gonna serve you well in the end. So just remember, I choose to listen to my inner voice and not the random opinions of others. That's the weekly quote. But guess what time it is? It's mama time. This week's mama time is just going to be a recap of Halloween. Last week was October 31st, Halloween. Just a few questions I have to ask to you as a mama. First question is, do you have a mama tax on candy? I was looking on Facebook and some of my friends, they were like some of my male friends on Facebook that went to Albany State, and they were saying they have a dad tax on candy to teach their kids how to pay taxes. So I saw a few people, they told their kids get as many pieces, as much candy as you want, but just remember when you get back home, you got to pay 20% of taxes or the candy tax. So my question is, do you charge a candy tax for on your kids? And I think it's actually a good idea, especially if your kids go around for trick-or-treating or if they go to like a festival or somewhere else that's giving out a lot of candy. They can actually get a lot of treats, not necessarily candy. I know some people give out other things, so they can get a lot of stuff. So the tax probably is a good idea. That way your kids don't end up with all that candy and other junk that may not be good for them. So the first question is, do you have a mama tax on candy? The second question is, do you dress up for Halloween? I have not dressed up for Halloween in a while. I think the last time I dressed up for Halloween was maybe 2020. And that was because I was at work and I wore something really basic. I think I got something from like the dollar store, and it had a headband, not a headband, what's this thing called? Yeah, it had a headband with like some ears or something and maybe like a tail that I could wrap around my waist. And I actually just wore that. And the only reason why I wore that was because at my job, they actually dress up for Halloween pretty often. If it falls on a work week, like Monday through Friday, they dress up every year. A lot of people went really big this year. Some people, one lady was Beetlejuice. We had some other people like do the Dr. Seuss thing one, thing two, even dressed up like Dr. Seuss, and just some other things that are fun, things you can wear like regular clothes and make it a twist. Or a lot of people actually went out and got costumes. So second question, do you dress up for Halloween or do you just leave that for your kids? And I would like to know, so comment below, let me know if you dressed up, what you were. If you didn't dress up, I would still like to know that. And then if your kids dressed up, what were they? Our kids were actually fairies. If you have seen, I think it's on Netflix, but the Oh man, I can't think of the name of it. But they're like the fairies. They're on, no, it's on Disney because it's Tinkerbell and her other fairy friends. So they dressed up as some of the fairies and then they said which fairy they would be. We actually got that costume for like $10 from the Goodwill. Something really basic. It had the wings on the back and it also had like a little tutu skirt. And it didn't have a headband, but they wore a headband. So something really basic. They could wear their regular clothes and just put that on top of it. Question 3, do you trick or treat with your kids? And if you have a job where you can actually trick or treat, kind of like the same thing, if I feel like my old job I used to work at, they did something similar. Oh, I know what they did at my old job. We actually used to shut down for like 2 to 3 hours in the afternoon, and we had a festival outside. Really fun. It was a fun place to work at. It was a call center. So they had like drinks, a DJ. And when I say drinks, it was during work, so it's not alcoholic drinks, but a DJ, and it was also very family friendly. So it was something that gave the employees the opportunity to, get some downtime at work, but also bring your kids. So that's actually what a lot of people did. They would bring their kids, they would dress up with their kids, go around, get candy, other type of treats, just a lot of fun. And then, like I said, we would shut down for like 3 hours in the afternoon. So that was really fun. But I want to know if you actually trick or treat around your neighborhood. I think if you live like in an apartment and you're comfortable with doing that, I think that's a great place to actually trick or treat because most likely quite a few people in the neighborhood. It's a lot of houses, so it's a great opportunity for your kids to load up on candy or other treats, depending on what people are actually giving out. And then I know some people said they don't trick or treat door to door, but they may go to like local churches or other organizations that are doing like trunk or treats in a more safe, controlled environment. My daughter had a festival at her school, which I enjoyed. My husband took them to that. Well, I didn't enjoy it. I enjoyed it in the sense of that gave my kids a safe place and a controlled place to actually go. I just feel like trick-or-treating, if you don't know the neighborhood, don't know your neighbors or the neighborhood, I feel like it may not be the safest thing. Let me know what you think. Just comment below. Do you trick or treat with your kids? Do you guys go to like a festival? Do you have something fun like I mentioned at my job, at your job, where you can just get out and have a great time? Or comment below if you don't even celebrate Halloween at all. There's, of course, people out there that don't celebrate Halloween. So I would love to hear your answers to these 3 questions, Mama. Do you have a mama tax on candy? Question 2, do you dress up for Halloween? If you did dress up for Halloween, what did you dress up as? Question 3, do you trick or treat with your kids door to door? Do you participate in festivals or trunk or treats? I'm trying to think. Well, I've heard churches do like hallelujah nights. So kind of like that same thing. Just give the kids an opportunity to do fun things and act like a child and really keep that innocence in Halloween. So please, please, please comment below. Let me know your answers to these 3 questions. And remember to hit the like button, hit the bell for notifications so you'll know when we come out with a new episode. Share this with another mama and comment below with the answers to these 3 questions. As always, remember that me time is essential and it is never selfish. Have a great week, mamas.